We have some of the world's finest media members present, in fact, right now. Is someone there in the background? Harrington, are you there? We've fucking just been texting. Yeah. Guys, Paul Craig, you did say, who did you call out on the microphone?
I did.
Yeah, you did. And it's all respect, but Harrington has some questions from the world's media.
Right. Can I answer one question? I've got one question for Mr. Smith. Have you signed a contract to fight someone else? No? Yes? Maybe?
No.
Something you can't discuss?
No, I haven't signed a contract. I'll be honest with you. I haven't. Yeah. There's been fights talked about, but there's nothing signed.
Because we were straight off the bat. And I know you obviously want to speak to us about the media side of it, but we'll talk about a wee bit about backstage. And we've asked for that fight. And I know, like, you've been very vocal about, like, give me an opportunity, and because it is.
I've said yes every time. Anytime anyone's asked, like, yes, I will fight Paul Craig.
I've only recently started to get a wee bit of notoriety within the light heavyweight world, but it all comes down to opportunities, and we've never ever had them. So that's what I wanted to know. If you'd signed a contract to fight somebody else, if not, then we can actually have this conversation. Like, not me and you, but then we can go away and request, can we please have this fight with us for about 6 or 7 times, and we've been told no. And I believe that we've not been given it is because you're too big a dog for us, meaning in the sense of you're the guy at the moment, and you've always been the guy. For how long have you been the guy at the top of the tree, batting off all the young pretenders? You're the guy that people want. So I don't know what.
Well, I'm the guy that's I've always given the opportunities too. Like I've said yes to it because I've been that guy begging for a guy that's ranked in the top, and I've sat on these shows in interviews and said all these fucking guys at the top are just holding on to their spot, and they only want to fight guys that are above them because they don't want to lose their position. And I've always said I'll never be that guy. If I don't have a fight and no one ahead of me wants to fight, I'll fight whoever. If I think I'm good enough, then I better be fucking good enough to hold my spot.
I totally
agree with that, man.
I was just in Columbus, Ohio, and I was talking to Anthony before. And again, obviously, this is his life, so it's probably something he's very aware of. But I was talking to the UFC weekend. I said, "Oh, Paul Craig and Anthony Smith." I said, they both won that fight, and they said they were going to match Anthony up with Alexander Rakic. But it just came out this morning that Alexander Rakic is fighting Jan Blachowicz. That's been confirmed. So I don't know, guys. I mean,
it's a weird thing. Rakic he's a strange guy, man. Like, he got the win, whatever. I fucked up and didn't show up, but he's had the opportunity for that rematch. He's accepted it once before, and he just won't do it. So I'm not chasing that guy anymore. And I thought that they haven't brought up Rakic since they had asked me if I would fight Rakic when Blachowicz got hurt, if I would fight him on short notice on that in Columbus this last weekend, and I said yeah, and nothing ever came of it, and they ended up just moving the whole fight. So
we put our name forward for that as well. Like, oh, he's injured. Yeah. What's the chances? And they were like, nah, no happening.
Yeah, and some of that's him. He's real picky. Like he would rather sit and wait 18 months for the right fight that he feels good about. That's not than me. Fight anybody.
We get into this sport to fight. Why the fuck would you spend your time in the sidelines?
Yeah, that's how he is, man. He would rather sit for the perfect opponent that makes him feel good in here than just take a fight. And so, that I've been trying to get a fight for a while, and they wanted to wait for your fight, and they wanted to wait for the Ankalaev fight. So now that both of those have happened, it's kind of been crickets. So,
see, as I said, we'd asked for yourself, obviously, with the call out, and we were getting a bit of love for it. And then obviously Dana White came out and said, wishful thinking. Obviously that was with Glasgow as well, but I do believe it's wishful thinking when it comes to the fight. If I'm being honest, I reckon they're going to try and fling me Santos or Dominic Reyes. There's who I think they're going to try and push me to get, which are amazing fights. And but obviously we'd rather leapfrog people and aim higher.
Yeah,
so it's all about.
I mean, and I kind of when I came in, I did the same thing. I took a short notice fight. I fought Rashad Evans in my debut at 205.
I remember when you on 5 days notice all the legends within about 6 months.
Yeah, then I just got lucky and got an opportunity to fight Shogun on like 5 days notice, and he was at 8. So I got kind of lucky and was able to leapfrog a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
Well, they're talking about, sorry to butt in, they're talking about doing, coming back maybe August, September. I'm not the matchmaker, of course, but this is a fucking sensational fight, and it's got all the story and everything. Timeline-wise, does that work for you guys? Yeah, let's just assume, hypothetically speaking.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
whatever.
The reason why I've been stopped to fight in the US is because I'm not double vaccinated. Double vaccination status I don't have. But what I've got is I've got COVID, so I'm guaranteed 6 months of free travel.
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
right.
Really? Is that how it works?
As long as you have a positive test, you're good for 6 months after that, right?
I can't get vaccinated because I've got the virus in my body. So I'm 6 months good, man. So let's
come to Vegas. Let's go.
I'm ready to fight anytime, man. I'll finish this beer up. I'll jump my plane and we'll.
I love it.
We can get a dance. But as I said, I'm in this sport to fight. I'm 34 years old. I'm not a spring chicken. I don't have 50 fights in my clock, but I've got 20 plus fights, and I want to keep fighting until the wheels come off. That's what I want to do.
Mike Harrington, BYM podcast here. Can I just get a question for you, Paul? Is the jump up in the rankings the only reason you've been calling for Anthony Smith? Because we have heard this time and time again. You've been asking for Anthony Smith for years, as you said. Is that the number one thing, just where he is in the rankings, or is there something about that matchup you like?
You're always looking for the guy above you. What's the point of saying, oh, there's a guy who's doing the 20 and he's good at jiu-jitsu and it might be a good fight? That's not what you want. What you want is the guy at the top of the tree, or as close to the top as you possibly can. Your ultimate goal, regardless of what fighter you are, if you're fighting in the top 10, you're looking to get as close to that title as possible and do it in the shortest period of time. I believe that the fight between myself and Mr. Smith there would be an amazing fight. I always put on a performance, regardless if I'm getting knocked out, if I'm getting last-minute submissions, or I'm getting first-round submissions. It doesn't matter what's happening. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to finish the fight. I would rather that than go 15 minutes and people like, Paul Craig, his fight wasn't the best, was it? I want to put on a performance.
Well, I think you're known for that now, Paul. You know what I mean? You have brought excitement each and every single time. All right. So what are we officially saying here, boys? You're both saying yes. Obviously, there's so many moving pieces. You know what I mean? It's down to the UFC and the matchups they want to do, and logistically, and the arenas and what they need, and vaccinations. There's so much stuff goes into it. But I gotta say, it's really refreshing to see you two like this, because you're both two of the very best in the world, two great contenders, two very capable fucking guys, and being very cordial and polite and respectful. It's nice. I like it.
Yeah, there's never, in my mind, I would always much rather fight someone that I respect. And that's why, as many times as I've heard, people tag me, say, "Oh, Paul Craig is talking shit," or "Paul Craig wants to fight," or "He's calling you out." I already know that he's not talking shit, because that's not his. It doesn't matter what the headline reads. Even what was that headline forever? Anthony's not as hungry as me. Oh, that's probably not exactly what he said. So I enjoy fighting people that, they're just good ass people, and people you don't got to worry about being a piece of shit. You can go in there stress free. You go in there and we both try to make some money. We chase our dream, and it's just not the stress and bullshit of like the Ryan Spann thing. As much as I enjoyed beating Ryan Spann's ass, it's stressful because I just dislike him because he's such an asshole. So then you're constantly just in your head, you're showing in practice, and you're just like, fuck this guy. I'm so sick of thinking about him because I don't like him. When you're fighting someone that you like and someone that you respect and someone that I get excited to see a Paul Craig fight. That matters to me in someone that I'm going to fight. If I'm excited to watch you fight, then I'd love to fight you. It's the same with Yuri Prohaska. I don't know shit about Yuri personally. I don't know what kind of guy he is. Maybe he's a good guy or a bad guy. I don't know, but I like watching him fight, and that's enough for me to want to fight him. So I think the game is kind of going this direction a little bit. I think sometimes the dickheads and the assholes are kind of, in a lot of situations, are getting kind of pushed to the side a little bit because people are just kind of sick of the shit. So if we can get two guys that don't hate each other, that plan on drinking beer afterwards, I'm with it.
Well, that'll be three guys drinking beer afterwards, because I'll be there.